The choice is small. It barely registers, but the hesitation does. The feeling isn't jealousy. It's quieter than that. Nothing is wrong with the numbers, and yet something feels off. The mind treats some dollars as heavier than others. Some money barely feels like money at all. The same amount in a different frame, and suddenly the number matters. These reactions aren't random. They follow a pattern, a filter that sorts before we think. The mind labels money before it weighs it. The labels come first. Once a label is assigned, research shows that behavior is often organized in relation to that label. It's a linear story, an upward trajectory. This image reflects a common cultural narrative that associates success with accumulation and upward comparison. This visual represents a belief model in which increases in one measurable area are assumed to automatically improve unrelated areas of life. When a numerical milestone is reached, emotional or cognitive responses do not always shift at the same time. This illustrates how numerical progress and subjective interpretation can operate independently. We consistently behave in ways that the simple "more is better" story doesn't predict, because the lens has a tint, and that tint changes the color of everything we look at. Let's explain one core mechanism. The mind doesn't have one money account. It has many. It creates separate mental accounts. This money is for necessity, this is for pleasure, this is for the future. When $50 is placed in the fun account, its psychology changes. The brain sees that $50 as already spent. Its purpose is defined. It is now fun money. So buying a friend lunch feels easy if it comes from the fun account. It fits the label. But that same $30 for something useful but not fun requires a different account, and the transaction feels heavier. These jars are also leaky. They aren't sealed containers. Retail discounts are frequently categorized differently from regular income and are often mentally treated as a separate, discretionary amount. Unexpected money has no pre-assigned account, so the mind, in a split second, gives it one. Research observations show that unexpected funds are often divided unevenly across categories, with larger portions assigned to immediate or discretionary uses. Found money is processed differently from earned income because it was not previously assigned to a mental category. So we don't just see money, we see fun money, bill money, guilt money, future money, and the label changes its weight. Spending patterns are often associated with category labels rather than overall totals, leading to uneven use across different accounts. To an outside observer, this is a contradiction. To the mental accounting system, it's logical. The trip was travel fund. The concert was entertainment fund. The windfall effect. Money that was always yours but returned feels like a bonus, and so it's often spent on a want, not a need. The refund jar is psychologically separate from the savings jar. Cash often feels more real and is tied to immediate mental accounts. Plastic can feel like abstract future money. The yard sale is framed as a negotiation game. The coffee is a daily ritual fund. Different jars, different rules. Even with conscious goals, the bias is to assign windfalls to specific, tangible goals or debts, not to a vague, abstract safety jar. Paying off a specific debt is a completed mental account. Saving for a distant future is an open, unresolved account that the mind finds harder to celebrate. The brain values the guaranteed salary more than the identical potential total with a bonus. The bonus is a separate, less trusted account. The health account feels like a tax. The celebration account feels like an investment in memory. The same number, different emotional mathematics. Perceived savings from discounts can be represented mentally as a symbolic gain, influencing how subsequent spending is categorized. Social comparison isn't just about totals. It's about comparing our tightly budgeted jar system to someone else's visible, seemingly limitless windfall jar. Late-night cognition often involves imagined transfers between these categories, such as reallocations from discretionary to long-term accounts. From a psychological perspective, financial behavior is not governed by a single unified calculation, but by automatic categorization processes that operate in parallel. Describing a cognitive mechanism does not alter how it operates, it clarifies how information is structured within the model. The fun money label is not in the currency, it was in the perception. A dollar is a unit of exchange. It has no inherent emotion, no secret category. The categories people create can be described as internal narratives, automatic constructs used to organize information. But they function as internal narratives. From a psychological perspective, these narratives can be described and categorized without assigning intent or accuracy. In moments like this, the hesitation can be described as different mental categories briefly competing for priority. The muted reaction can be understood as a comparison between separate mental categories, one associated with personal limits, the other with visible outcomes. This pattern is described in psychology as a functional process the mind uses to manage complex symbolic information. Human experience spans many domains. Money represents one domain among others, and research describes how different cognitive frames allocate attention across them. Mental accounting operates automatically, maintaining internal categorizations without deliberate attention. As currency, it functions as a neutral medium. Meanings and consequences are assigned through separate social and cognitive frameworks.